Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to another exciting episode of Afro Scientific Spirituality. My name is Remesipe West, reaching you live and direct from the heart of Africa. And today I'll be hosting my very good friend, the one and only uh, Richard Babalawo, or should I say, I should introduce you as a priest of Ifa, Babatunde Richard Carew of America/Nigeria, Africa, and to the world. I'm very happy and excited to bring you once again here. It's a pleasure, and I'm very delighted. Please, if you're watching this program from anywhere you have, encourage you to like and subscribe and stay tuned. So, Richard, it has been long. I would like you to introduce yourself and talk about your background in African spirituality and just tell people things you like to tell them.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Ronald Abayomi Babatunde. I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and my great-grandparents came from Ijesa and Ogun State. Some came from Ibadan, some came from Abeokuta and Ijesa. Those are the three main places that they came from. They practice African spirituality from Egungun to the hunting society. They were the first people to bring the hunting society to Sierra Leone called Omo Jessa. So,
Omojisa. Yeah.
Omo Jessa, yes. So, growing up, eventually in my early 20s, I started getting, the space started visiting me. They started visiting me. Um, For those visits, they told me what to do and how to get into spirituality. They led me to go to Sierra Leone and join a secret society called Sampa Sokoporo Society. And after I was done with the initiation, I initiated into the Power Society as a Yamba Boke, which means chief priest. After I was done with the initiation, they told me now I have to go to Nigeria and study Ifa and get do everything and start divining for myself before I go back to doing everything. So that's how I got into spirituality. I studied. I did the research on YouTube. I studied with the Power Society. I joined your classes. I took the beginning, the intermediate, and the advanced classes. Then I went and did my hand of Ifa and my I studied under my Oluwo and I go through the Ifa library, the well-known approved, by the Ifa Heritage Foundation, some of the well-known books and the well-known authors. I bought most of their prominent books and I started educating myself and I follow most of the most prominent teachers out there that are, spreading Ifa and I follow them and I take lessons from them.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy with your journey so far. I know that you have really gone very far in your African spirituality study and knowledge. And when we come to the topic of Ifa, you have really done extensive work on it. That I know. You have really gone far. Even me, I've not done many of those things in Ifa tradition that you have done. That is why I want you to talk about this very topic today. Not be everything person they know finish. So we need to share knowledge. This is how we build a better foundation in the practice. Then we need to compare as a practitioner, you're well vested, and I will say you're an expert in Ifa. And in me, I'm my own field, I'm still well vested there. And I want us to talk about this term we call Egbe or Egbe in Yoruba in Ifa. The word Egbe, we have it's a tonal word. And in my own tribe, we call something Igbe. Some people are confusing it together. When you say Igbe, Igbe is a spiritual system in Urhobo. That the word Igbe in Urhobo means dance. It's a spiritual system created by a man called Uku Obiesha in Urhobo. He was the founder of this Egbe spiritual system. Everything with Egbe in Roboland started with this man called Obiesha, Uku meaning light. Obiesha, he started it, he got divine inspiration, and he started this whole spiritual system that I will say the old Urobo people, they practice this Igbe today. Then the word Egbe in Yoruba, it means, if I'm correct, spirit word, right? Can you explain
Well,
it
it
for us?
means the word Egbe is actually a Yoruba word for group, but now they associate it whenever they use the word, like they use it for your spiritual group. So the story, the first how Egbe story
Mm-hmm.
starts is when Obatala created the Ori, the head. Then Olodumare breathes life into the Ori. Then the whole body forms the clay. So when the whole body forms, they naturally when they create your child, then you become lifelike. Then that's in Orun, which most people call heaven or the spirit world. The spirit world is what's called Orun. So as soon as you've been created, automatically when Obatala and Olodumare, after Olodumare breathes into you, or you become life, then your whole body forms clay, then you become actually full spirit. And then you run along. And when you run along, just like when you leave a child to run along, as soon as they go outside, they see other kids, they join those other kids. They form a group of friends. That's your Egbe. But when they create you, you will have an exact replica of yourself. So it's true, the same, like Meiji. That is Egbe also, but they refer to it as Enikeji Orun. That is your part, your counterpart, your complete exact of you that is in Orun.
Mm-hmm.
So after you join that group, you create a bond, you create a friendship, you make promises, you create like a clique, like a gang and everything, and you make serious promises. Everything you say in Orun is stamped, is for life. Then the time comes for you to choose a lineage to go into. And when that is chosen for you, you have to make promises to that group, depending on who you are or what. Like every group, you have the leader, you have like the quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote the alpha. Then, depending on who you are, you leave to come to IA. But you will be given, you make promises, or you will be given specific missions, or you'll be part of something. So the role of the Egbe is for you to fulfill that and for you to go back. You have to go back to your group and go join them. It's like they miss you. So the mission is to make sure you fulfill everything. You first of all you remember and you fulfill everything. So the group is there to support you, but your Enikeji your own, your spiritual double or what they call spirit guides. That's the most prominent one. They watch everything that you do, every step that you take. They know you better than you know yourself. So this was created according to the Ifa system because they're in Oru, they are more pure. They can't do some of the things. They can't do taboos and some of the things that we do. They're more pure. They have more heightened spiritual senses. They are more connected. So whenever we have this spiritual revelation, clairvoyance, and all this spiritual gift that we have, it is them that is giving those gifts to us because they are us. So we have to connect to them and we'll be able to
Exactly.
utilize this gift here. And their purpose is to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter whatever it takes to do whatever it takes for you to fulfill your promises here. So you go and stay with them forever. Because if you don't fulfill, you have to keep coming back. They miss you. They want you to go join the clique. So you have to do what you have to do and go back to Owen and stay with them. Even if it's for you to go continue what you have to continue and help with the ancestors, because the ancestors are over there, they're there too, but they want you to go back and if you want to continue to serve mankind, you can continue to serve, but you have to finish what you have to do here. So that's what Egbe is. The Egbe is the group that you're part of, but your counterpart, your exact opposite, is called Enikejurun, and that too is referred to as Egbe. Egbe can also be a spiritual husband or spiritual wife that you made promises to. So that's Egbe too.
So Egbe, we can say this, it's your spiritual family.
Spiritual
That's
family,
what
yeah.
we say in
Yes.
Yoruba. So
Mm.
meaning before we came here, as we're living as humans in this present time, space and time. the people that we made contact with, the family we came from in the spirit world, that is our Egbe.
That's the
That's
Egbe.
our. So
Mhm.
we leave them for a limited time to come here to experience life in physical form. Maybe to do things, to add our own quota, to contribute to helping humanity or experiencing life, getting any kind of experience we want from this life. So when we transition, we must go back to them, right?
Correct.
So it what matter, so whether the person like most people now, they come, they born them, and maybe they born them in the wrong place. They didn't fulfill their life mission. Maybe they died unexpectedly, or they get trapped, something that limited their experience. If they still transition, they must still go back to their spiritual family,
That's
right?
the thing, yes. So, an untimely death, for the most part, Yoruba people believe it can either be the Iyami, the Oshoronga, or the Egbe. So, if you refuse to make contact to your Egbe and you're not fulfilling, you're not making contact, you're not venerating them, you're not giving them attention, they'll become mad and they'll start bothering you. If you don't go do
Okay.
divination, right? Because in Yoruba land, when stuff starts going wrong, everyone will go to the Babalao. That's the practice. Then the Babalao will tell you what to
Mm-hmm.
do. But then they will pass on the message. You'll tell you what to do, how to venerate, how to become closer. So when most people leave the tradition and practice in other things, they know what they had. That knowledge wasn't there. They don't know what to do. Even if they told them, no, most people will be like, oh, we're scared and yada yada. And, they have their own convictions. So that's when the Egbe will actually take your life. So you will go back and they will remind you, say, this is our promises that we made in Orun. So once you made that
Yeah, that
promise, yes, you have. They will. It doesn't really matter. They'll take your life and you go, and they'll gladly do that and remind you. So you have to come back and fulfill that.
okay. That is nice. So we come here with if the person comes with a specific mission and they didn't
Mhm.
fulfill that mission, the Egbe we come, his family, we make sure that try to make him fulfill that mission, even if they
Yes.
have to take him out of the way. Because
Mhm.
sometimes some people will come to this life, they will forget to, they will make promises. When I come to the earth, I will do a lot of changes. I will do this, I will do that, I will do that, I will do that. And then it seems that when the person is born, then we totally just forget their mission. I don't understand how that works, but it's like they are everything I've known before will be wiped out. So that we forget their mission and they will start doing what they're not supposed to do. And then there will be problems for them. So the Egbe is there to also checkmate and to enforce that the person completes their mission.
Yes.
Mhm. That is very good. Okay. Okay. Then now this I want us to talk about the Iyami Aje. Iyami
Mhm.
Aje. What is this term? What does it mean in Nepal?
So Iya is Yoruba word for mother. So when you say Iyami is my mother. When you say Babami is my father. If you say Baba, it's just like father or like you giving like elder. So Iya Ajay in this context means wealth. So it just translates to my mother of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the Iyami Ajay, they're associated with the water ocean. All of their powers, everything that they do is linked to one source, ocean. So ocean has the
Oshun,
finest. Ocean, yeah. Ocean has the finest,
Oshun
especially
Kotu Iyami Aje.
every
Okay.
Iyami, every mother, since Oshun is the first Irumole, so she's the original woman that was created that came with the first Orishas according to Isese. She's the first
Okay.
one. So every
Mm-hmm.
mother comes from that's their power lies to water. Water is 100% feminine, just like Ogun is 100% masculine and Sango is 100% masculine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fresh water, not all water, because we know about Olokun, but fresh water,
Mm-hmm.
sweet water is 100% feminine. So is the Aje Olokun. Aje Olokun is 100% feminine, not the Olokun Yemoya of itself, but Aje Olokun, the daughter, is feminine. But there is no question about it. Osun is 100% women, and every mother is linked to it. The Iami Aje is one is one group or subgroup or one kind of Aje. So the Aje word in spirituality in Ifa, in the context of Ifa, can also mean witches. So, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't like that term, they don't like the word witch, and they can attack you and they give them the free will to do so. So they will call them Awon Agbalagba or Awon Tuniaye to those who own this world. So they have a different kind of way they will present it in a way more respectable because just calling them witches, they get mad.
Yes, it's a derogatory term in Nigeria. I mean, in
Mhm.
Africa. But in
Yeah.
abroad, the positive carries a positive connotation. But when you say somebody is a witch in Africa, it's somebody that's evil or uses spiritual power to do evil. It's a derogatory. So when you cannot use that word, yeah, I tell people because most of people in America they don't know the difference. So we need to
Mhm.
correct them that when you use it like this, it's derogatory in Africa. So
Yes.
there's another way to call the spiritual mothers a more positive
Mhm.
life. When you say witch, like you're insulting them, like they are evil
Mhm.
spirits or something like that. So you have
Yeah.
to use a term that is more palatable. I
Yes.
understand.
Mm.
Okay.
So the Iami Aji, they are people who venerate Aji and they're easy to identify. They only wear white, nothing else, because Aji Olokun, Ayamaya Olokun's daughter, doesn't like anything with color. Oshun will wear yellow, gold, amber, anything under that gold spectrum.
Mhm.
Aji only wears white. So the
Yes,
Emi
yeah.
Aji is the purest form. They come is my mother of wealth. They come with wealth and everything, but they authoritative. They're not authoritarian. It's you cook kind of real, reward and discipline. They're very strict, but when you in good times with them, the reward can be good. Then there's another version called Iyami Osoronga. So you see them naturally red and black. They start working at 12 midnight. While most RJ will walk during the day, you see them going to the water, they wear all white, and so they're going to the water.
Mm-hmm.
Those, this is RJ. But if you see them in the evening or doing any kind of ceremony, mostly with blood, they're wearing anything with the red or black, that's Osoronga. Then you also have Eleye. Eleye simply means um, owner of the birds. Because when you see the river, the birds and everything, you see they fly over there, even though that they're messengers of Oshun. That's pretty much the term, the general term for all of them. They're servants and messengers for Oshun. That's what all this category. Why I brought those two up is anyone can be part of all three. Some only liquid one, but some can be part of all three. But by definition, each one it depends on what you choose in your destiny. They all have the same power in them, but some are born based on their destiny. They default to some. Elia is probably means the birds, messengers of Oshun. They're more closer to Oshun. They're the ones that have direct contact to us because they're messengers. They go back and forth. So most of them probably will fall under in Iyanifa or like the opposite of a Babalawo and stuff like that, or they will initiate into Oloisha, like Oshun priest or stuff like that. But they all fall under that category. In order for you to be, every woman is born with that. They are the only ones. Every woman can be an Iyani, Aji, according to Yoruba. They are just born with it. It's inside them. But for you to activate your
Okay.
power, you have to be initiated. For you have to
Okay.
join a house and they have to activate it inside of you. For you to be an Iyami J, you have to activate it. Yeah,
If the person wants to be a priestess of the
priestess.
Yami
Yeah.
Ajin, to be
Mhm.
actively doing rituals for people, interceding for people, he has
Yes.
to they must activate it to bring it online. Okay,
Mhm.
but apart from that, that inherent quality is imbued in all women.
Yes.
Okay.
You can, but then if they activate you, you're gonna pass it on to all of your daughters. And if one
Okay.
generation
So,
skips, the next one is gonna be stronger. So kids will be born and they will start having visions and stuff like that. Start, quote unquote, they have
when they
clairvoyance.
activate it, yeah. Okay, cool. Can
Yeah.
a man not join this Iyami Aji? Can a man not be initiated into it? If a
It can be
man wants to
initiated
join it,
under circumstances. Back then, it wasn't, but some men can be initiated into Aji. You can venerate Aji or not, but at the end of the day, The women will have the strongest power when it comes to deal with
Yeah,
Ajay.
you must work under the women
Mm-hmm.
because they are their natural, or this is their space.
Mm-hmm.
You can join them, but you have to take instruction from them, do it because it's your team. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
no, I agree. But I've seen some men talk about this Iyami Ajay. The way, a lot of people just say things, they don't really understand what is going on. They kind of paint this Iyami Ajay as a primordial mothers of life, that some people even call them the ninth mothers, that they are in charge of deciding the destiny of people, that they are the strongest of body of, how will I say, they give them this impression that they are like the last place in charge of when you go for spiritual power, uh, to change things, to change situations, that you have to go through this Iyami Ajay. They call it the primordial mothers. And some people
Mm.
even go to through lots of myths that there are like seven of them, seven supreme mothers of divine queen that are in charge of all spiritual matters, that control the ninth, uh, control good and evil, something like that. Have you heard any kind of such myth like this?
That's actually not true. There's no truth in that. So the story
Uh-huh.
is everything was okay. People were doing their business. Obatala is the head of Oloisha. Orunmila was active, going between God and man and stuff like that. But they made a plan. Human beings at the Yami made a pact.
Mm-hmm.
You should never eat the birds. Don't eat anything with a feather. So there was a famine because human beings refused to do divination, even though Orunmila warned them. So
Mm-hmm.
Eshu, being the policeman, he the road. I say, okay, first of all, that disrespect is never going to happen. If we tell human beings became too comfortable, maybe, became too fat, they started ignoring Orumila and Olodumare. And Orumila came with a direct message from Olodumare. They refused to make the offerings. There was famine. How Eshu wanted to get back at them. So he came, he tempted them, human beings. Said, all right, so this doesn't really make sense. You're hungry, you have birds all over there, you're starving. The human beings, they gave it a while after people started starving to death, they started killing the birds and eating them. And the Iami, the owner of the bats, which means Elaye, they found out. And they took the case directly to Olodumare. Olodumare watched, he gathered evidence, he saw, he said, what you're saying is true. So because they baked a pact, from today, from now on, you have full power over the life of the human being. For them to prosper, if and they can just look at you and they love you, you prosper. Or if for some reason you decide to mess up with them, or they can say before you go through anything in life, you should honor us. But it does, I mean, to a certain extent, it does make sense. If they say they're a general mom, I think they're just there to make sure that balance is there. The human beings were the one that messed up because they refused to make that offering, and Eshu tricked them into eating the bats. So yes, they do have full power. They can act whenever they want, and but the mothers of the night are also Oshowonga. They're different fast. They work on the dark side. Remember, they all work for Olodumare. Remember, they are enforcers of
Mm-hmm.
that original betrayal. That was our punishment. Not because they have this power. They went to court. They won the case against humanity. That's why Eledumare gave them that power. So in order for
Okay.
you for things to go easy, you just make them an offering and go about your business. Unless you're part of that destiny, your ancestors are part of that destiny. Maybe one of your Egbe is one of them, which can be possible too, and stuff like that. If your destiny is aligned with them. I mean, my grandma's name, my sister's name, my auntie's name is literally Omo Eleye, child of the owner of the bar. I mean, you can, it's self explanatory. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you're going to have some link to them. And when the cast definition from the Osai layer came out, but the only thing I can only eat white birds. Don't eat any bird that is not white. And I can only eat
Okay.
stronger ones. So, which means I have to pick the strongest, which is probably going to be male. Then I have to kill it myself and cook it. So that's my taboo. Don't eat any other, don't eat butter unless it's pure, no color. And there's another misconception too. Like we discussed the other day a couple of months ago to the chat, there are 16 different races of LA. Only Sango, well, a part of the Orishas, only Sango had 16. They were called his wives, right? So Sango technically had 16 wives. He had the three queens, which technically every female deity, either they have the power in them or the women are linked to them. And the rest of that, they were there to make sure Sango gets whatever he wants. So there are 16 races. They're spread all across the world. So you have different, like we know Oshoronga, we know Eleye, we know Aje. You have another 13. And not all of them are from Yoruba land. They can be white, they can be Asian, from every race. And like Yoruba, we have multiple different versions. Some races have multiple versions too, but they're all 16. So Sango had all 16, and I also have all 16.
Wow.
So yeah, so there you just have to appease them and make sure you do what to do. And sometimes you will assist them in doing certain things, but they're there to make sure you sit on your throne, basically. But if yes, so they won the case. But when it comes to the last result,
I can't
the
hear you.
female deity, it's gonna be Mother Earth Onile. I believe the Ogboni, if you want to get really high, if you really want to succeed, the people that have never failed will be the Ogboni. And there's another misconception there. If the mothers of the night target you for no just cause, you have to consult a Babalawo that consult Orumila. They will make them the offering for the first time. They will talk to them just like you talk to any mom or any women. They will give them that respect. They will do the due diligence. If they don't respect that, they refuse the offering. Old Miller will cast the divination. He will do work for you. They will give you a powder, a white powder. You rub them on your body, and as soon as they attack you, they will fall. They will start puking. They will start defecating. Then they'll die. So yeah, Old Miller can kill them, but last resort, you'll be your native chalk. They will do ceremony in native chalk. And if you want the instant one, um, Isango, Sango actually can kill them. So what they do, they hide behind Sango. The Agba layer, the most powerful, most of them are linked to Agba means elder or the mothers of the night. So the elder of the mothers of the night, they will hide behind Sango, especially if you're strong. They'll hide behind or under their Orisha Sango and attack you. You will not see them. So when the Babalao goes, they will see, he will know what to do. He will say, make off into Sango. As soon as you make an offering to Sango, none of them will touch you. So we know proof in every way under Odu Ifa that they can be killed by Sango instantly and they can be killed by Oromila. So they don't have, especially when you're innocent, but they have the power to target you for no just cause, as in witches,
Not
or
just
they can make
yes.
mistake or make any kind of assumptions and target you and make your life miserable for nothing. They can also love you and just give you everything. They have the free will to do so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these people now, that's the who that we refer to make them as the winches that we normally talk about in African palace. Uh, Capacity to do evil, to do good. I think that these are people that just maybe they are connected to that group based on their own destiny or by choice. People can also join that group, right, based on their evolution. We hear stories of people joining such kind of coven or doing those kind of for whatever reason. We have
Mhm.
different kind of people, the good, the bad, the ugly, light and darkness. All these people, they are there. Okay. What I'm interested in mostly is how can somebody discover, because the truth about life, the essence is to discover who you are, know thyself, know yourself so that you can be able to fulfill your destiny, maximize your potentials, and actually transform your life. That kind of thing to make a very positive impact, to influence your generation to be different. If somebody want to do this, what will you suggest for them? This like
So,
now, let's give example of, you mentioned the Ogoni society.
Mhm.
Uh, can they really help in that regard?
So the Ogboni has never failed in anything according to, but so it's the only thing in if Yoruba land that is said that is 100% secret. So their powers are so sensitive, so secret that they can everything else is open. It's based on who you are. Most Babalaos know, and it can be downloaded from Ella. Ella can reveal it to you, or Isha Ella. But the Ogboni is plain secret, and they venerate the earth or the earth. So yes, but if you really want to discover yourself, according to Isese, every procrastination, every decision making, every ambition, every drive, every discipline belongs to the Egbe. So it's very important. Your Egbe, as soon as you connect with your Ori, the next thing you should be worried about is your Egbe. Make sure you appease them. So they are the ones that are gonna give you that drive. They are the ones that are gonna. They will be giving you certain kind of things you don't even know, like that stuff that you make with the alcohol and all the herbs and all the stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So that's called
Yeah.
agbo. They call it agbo jagun, like the agbo of the jag of the warrior. So that was
Mm-hmm.
the because Jagun is linked to Ogun and is always in the forest, he gained the secret of leaves. He know how to work with herbs and leaves and stuff like that. So that's actually his favorite thing. He was the one that came up with that formula. That's their favorite thing, is the favorite drink of the warrior. It's called Agbo Jagun. It was the Egbe that revealed that secret when Yoruba people started making that. Because that's the Egbe, that's how you feed your warrior from within. It was actually the Egbe that came up with that formula.
Wow, that is nice. So, uh, how can people make contact with their Egbe? Because now most people, the only thing they know is Ori, your head, Voodoo, the Ori veneration. Most people that
Mhm.
don't know about the Egbe, uh, how do they make they want to connect with their spirit family? How can they be able to do this by themselves? If there's any little thing they can do to make this contact or make this connection stronger.
The Babalawo can consult and check if you have Egbe, and there are Egbe priests and priestesses. So just like how you have Oshun priest, and Ifa is on top of everything. Ifa sees everything, and Orumila is the Ifa priest or the Babalawo. You have Ogun priest, you have Sango priest, and priestesses. You also have Egbe priest and priestesses. So they can do that for you. They can check. But everyone has Egbe, but not everyone is an Elegbe, which means not everyone have to venerate them to a certain kind of level. If you have a lot of responsibilities and you're going to be facing some spiritual stuff, then yes. Elegbe also means that you're the leader of the pack, which means you have to have discernment. You have to have this be the strongest, and they'll always be there. Just the pack. They'll always be there to help you. But there are certain people. It's like no, like you have to do this. You can't go without doing this. You either have to be initiated or make
Can't ignore it.
continue to
You can't.
contact with them.
Mhm.
And you can check with Egbe priest or Babalawo if you want things to go smoothly for you. If your kids are misbehaving, if you want wealth, if you want, a clear path. And because they are responsible for clairvoyance, because you're using their spiritual connection in Orun, they are your psychics. So if you want to enhance your psychic ability, venerate your Egbe. If you want to enhance clairvoyance, venerate your Egbe. And they also come to you through dreams. So if you dream in children running around, if you dream in women and children running around, snakes, water, they have different kind of signs that you can see that's Egbe. And you have different classes of Egbe too. So most of them are linked to the principles of most Orishas. According to Ifa, there are so many, there are as plenty as the grain of the sands in this world, but they have the major ones that people focus on. So you have certain ones, just like you have there are 401 Orishas, but we have the major ones. And so you have plenty Egbes, there are so many, but we have the major ones that we venerate that are linked to people, especially people that are Legbe. They have some of those that have those qualities that should be able to help them to push forward.
Oh, that is nice. Okay. Then in Yoruba, how do we refer to what we say the spirit world? What term do they call the spirit world?
Ohun.
Like the astral world in English, what we say the astral world, whereby people go there maybe during dreams or during rituals.
Yeah. So it's called Ohun,
Can go there to
O-R-U-N.
do things. How does this phenomenon of the spirit world? Okay, so like let me take example of Urubu. They have what they call Iriwi. Iriwi. It means spirits or ancestors. Uh, that word is what they used to refer to the word of the spirits, the word that the ancestors or deities they reside. There are cases whereby something might happen in the land, maybe an abomination, and the ancestors we have to directly intervene. Like we have this thing in the Yoruba land, maybe a woman that is married goes out to sleep with another man, and or have children with that other man. Sometimes she will start getting sick. They cannot find the origin of that sickness, and when they do the divination, they will say that we hold the woman, or the woman has been attacked by the ancestors because she breaks a covenant. She did something uh, that she should talk. Then after she said she did the convention, they will not do a ritual of cleansing. Do they have something like this in Yoruba?
Yeah, so the number one principle of the Egbe, you have to be pure. As in, you have to be as pure to be able to be close to Eledumare. The Egbe can be a shortcut to give you direct contact to Eledumare. That's why when you initiate into Egbe and when they do your Egbe, your visions it will be so clear. It's like you looking live events in a mirror or in like an 80-inch TV. But you really have to be pure. So honesty
Mhm.
is the first thing. You of yourself cannot cheat. Everything that you do, you have to be honest. So cheating, your Egbe will attack you. But it's a distraction. You have to be honest. You have to lead to certain stuff. Not only your Egbe will attack you, the other person's Egbe will attack you too. And but abomination like that, or taboo, one of the biggest taboo in Yoruba land, the ancestors will attack too, and you're gonna have to venerate them, and you're gonna have to appease the person's Egbe, and you're gonna have to appease your Egbe. Probably have to appease your own. So that's multiple laws spoken over there. Even your own,
Multiple rituals.
it's your ancestors because of the disgrace that you bring to them. They are the first ones that's gonna start. So if I lie, if I cheat, if I steal, my ancestors, my Egbe, my Orishas are the first one that's gonna start disciplining me before the other person that I offend, their space starts disciplining me. So yes, it's pretty intense for stuff like that. The repercussions are intense.
Okay. Yeah, I've experienced that. So we see it every day here, happening of how the spirit intervene uh to settle different issues. Another thing I want to ask you again. Let's say I am in church with my Higbe now. I am trying to live the pure life, trying to do good. If somebody offends me, somebody did something bad to me, maybe somebody steals my money, somebody deceived me, or somebody hurt me, or somebody defrauded me, did something that hurt me, am I allowed to take revenge on that person?
Yes.
Or I should leave it for my Egbe to solve the problem? Can I go after
So
the person?
if you don't do anything, they're gonna go after the person. But for that to be effective, you should not forgive. You should put it out there that you're not okay with what they do. As long as they started it, it's okay for you to go after them. I've seen people who are initiated into Obatala, they're saying, don't do anything. You can take the matter to them. Your Orishas and Obatala will retaliate for you. But for me, a Jagun or quote unquote warrior, it is actually, when someone offends you, it's actually accepted and encouraged. But in fact, they are the first ones that's going to start attacking. If they don't think it's necessary, they will let me know 21 days or more, or they will give me enough time to do something to thwart that. Then after they make sure the attack doesn't come to me, then they will do back to sender. So what they were trying to do, they'll make sure they experience it. What they like, they were trying to hurt me or steal from me. Someone will hurt them or steal from them exactly the same way, exactly what they planned. And some people they were just confused. And they started spreading rumors like I'm doing black magic on them and stuff like that. So
I didn't
yeah.
do anything.
So it depends on the severity and stuff. They'll just handle it instant because they'll just focus on what you're doing. We'll deal with them, stuff like that.
Because we have this case. I've also experienced something like that too. When somebody is in the spiritual paths, you're doing the work of the ancestors, interceding. There are many spirits that we had there, protecting you, guiding you. Then I've also come to see that some people, we maybe some bad people. These are people that I will call them, I will call them agents of darkness. These witches and wizards. Then we know that you are a spiritual person trying to do good work, trying to make a difference. Then we come as a friend to come close to you. Then we come as a friend. Then we start attacking the person. They will pretend to come to you, pretend, then we start attacking you. So we will not know until things have gone so far that this person have not been your friend all along. The person has been an evil person. If the sole aim of this person coming to your life is to take something from you or to destroy you or to most usually to take you from your spiritual paths. So when you see this kind of people, you have to do something against them. Most times you want to do something, but sometimes you leave it for your spiritual family to handle. What do you think about this case of people coming to do direct attack against you? What do you think about it?
So my experiences and what I know for sure is these attacks, they let them happen for you to go through life, to see the reality of life that they do exist, right? But they very much let it happen to you so they will have a chance to actually retaliate. Remember, some people have done this multiple times, they get away with it. But when they come to people that are practicing at a high level, they send them for that to be the last resort to teach them the final lesson. So when people like that come to you and something happens to them, that's how it was supposed to be. It's to send a message, is for them to actually meet, you know, their final lesson. Like you can't be going around and doing this to face their final karma. And that's it. Because the Egbe will be watching. Naturally, they'll just get rid of them immediately. But if it's all your ancestors that actually let you go through something, they'll never let you hit like ground zero, but they'll let you go through what you have to go through for you to experience how life is. Then after that, after you break, you speak to them and stuff like that, then they'll go full fledged. They will retaliate. But that's it. But when you initiate into Egbe, they don't have that kind of patience because they want you to finish what you're doing and go back. So they'll just make sure they get rid of them immediately. But it does happen. If it's not your
So
friend, if they can't
I've
get
always
you, they will send a woman to come flash with you and stuff like that, act like they're helping and stuff like that. But they'll always do that. They'll give them a mission, like a coven. Say they'll choose one person, let's this to them, and let's quote unquote steal their destiny or stuff like that. So they'll send a woman in to make sure you for lost or something like that and lower your spiritual vibration, and that's vulnerability is how they get you.
exactly. I've also experienced that too, whereby these evil people, for whatever reason, they will make use of family members coming to meet the person, pretending that we come appear very vulnerable. Because in the essence of this attack is to pull them from their spiritual paths. This is what gets the Egbe offended. The attack is to weaken the person so that they will not continue their spiritual race, their spiritual journey. They will just be ordinary people uh, they'll just destroy their destiny. So when these people come with this attack, you will feel the attack. Most people will say, okay, as a spiritual person, you're not supposed to have problem. You're not so your life's supposed to be perfect. Everything should be working for you 100%. But in real life, it's not like that. Everybody have you must. We came here this physical world to experience resistance. You will experience resistance, and you still have enemies. I have come to see, even in this my spiritual path I am in, I still see people that not that I did anything to them, or they just take it upon themselves to want to attack me for no reason. But once they just see you, automatically you are the enemy. They want to take you out. They want to do everything. They just hate you naturally. This is how life is. This is how life works. So, well, when we see those kind of people, we too are ready for them. And then we do it to the extent that some we pretend like to just come close to you to come and attack you. These are our natural enemies. So I have experienced the work of the ancestors in the Egbe, so protecting and trying to make sure that you stay on the path. Some people, they want to spread ignorance in the world. They don't like people to bring liberation. They don't like people to explain the truth about African spirituality. They want to put African spirituality in a negative light permanently. And then they use Christianity to destroy, to convolute, and to oppress people, to hide people's knowledge and just to destroy. So when they see somebody exposing evils in society, trying to live the way of my heart, trying to be truthful, to live that pure life, trying their best to be a good person, they hate those kind of people. They don't want people appearing as beacons of hope in the
Yeah.
society. So they attack
So
you, pull you down, or swear your name, malign you, do everything to make sure that people do not listen to you. Have you experienced counter all this kind of people yet? This kind of people that want to attack for no reason.
yes, you have to understand that when you're there, you're trying to help people. You're giving them the truth, you're giving them, the agbo, you're giving them the secrets to protect themselves. The more you give, they know, the more knowledge they have, the more protection they have against these negative forces, which means they have less power over, less people. They have power over less people, and that lowers their power.
Mhm.
So, in order for most people to go to the dark, it's greed, loss, narcissism, and stuff like that. They just want to do bad things. They want to feel powerful. They want to control people. They want to control their lives by giving them the knowledge, by teaching them how to do their altar, how to protect themselves. You're stripping that control, that narcissistic control from them. So naturally, that animalistic instinct is going to kick in. I was like, oh, so you want to because once they see that you're what you're teaching people, they can't go past it. They can't break those barriers. Their followers are going to start doubting their power. You're no longer the strongest. Now you
Mhm.
have someone that can beat you. Maybe we should don't join that guy. They don't like that. So they want to, as soon as they see you as a threat, they want to come fight. Sometimes if they send something on someone, you heal the person, they'll come to attack you. And some people will see you, they just want to test you. Some people will see you, they know you're a threat. So before it gets to the point where you get to humiliate or disgrace them, they'll try to take you out because it's in their nature is to gain that power and that control, that evil power and that evil control. So this is how it is.
That's how it is. So this is life. So I have also come to realize that the spiritual path for me is not an easy path to walk. It's like a part of war in a way is that there are many obstacles, many pitfalls. But one thing is there is that the ancestors will always be there with you to guide you, to always protect you. It's a part that you may appear that you're alone, but you're not lonely. There are times whereby it's a part that will build you up to make you strong. You have to be strong to walk this path. You have to be dedicated. You have to be focused to walk this path. I have come to realize that we need we need all the assistance we can. You know, the kind of defense. What is the best defense that we can use to protect ourselves from the evil forces around us? Because not everything we can see all the time. But I have come to realize that you must create some principles that you must live by. They say a man must live for something. You must live for something and die by the thing. In my own case, I have a set of principles. I try to follow the principle of my heart, principle of truth, to live your truth and to be truthful as much as possible, and to avoid those kind of things that will put you in a negative light. Just follow the basic principles of like what you don't want to do to other people should not be done to you. Love your neighbor as yourself, and follow the path of the ancestors, follow the path of wisdom and knowledge. Standing, never deviating far from the ancestors. There's a saying, a popular saying somebody said, I like to repeat that tree we don't want, when they make they take and do firewood, they grow for front of shrine. So you have to be very close to the spirits. So when they see you that you are close to them and you're doing the work, most people that have something to hide or they are not truthful to themselves or they are living a fake life, they or they have ulterior motive, they stay clear from you. They give you chance. So that is a way of protection to protect yourself. What other protections way do you see that people on the spiritual path can use to protect themselves from all these many evils around them?
So for Ifa, when you do your say Ifa every week, you throw, or if you trying to do something, get something, you do your kola nut or Karisha divination. So if something like that is coming up, the divination will reveal everything. It's usually Onkara Ogbe, Onkor, one of Odu Ifa, then Ogbe, which is the first one, the king, which Nashe means that Onkor will bow down in front of Ogbe. So basically what they tell her, it is what it is. You're gonna face difficulties, struggles. But it is revealing Ifa that that's the best time to be closer. Do not miss if you have certain ceremonies that you have to do certain prayers, to try not to miss anyone. And they'll advise you to offer Ogun something to Ogun because he's the one that goes to everything. But as long as you keep doing your Osefa, your Iue, you offer, you start doing that and do that offering to Ogun. Ogun will just brush through everything. So keep working. Um, that difficulties will bow down in front of the great hand of the king, the truth. So yes, Iwapele, like you said, mat, we call it Iwapele, good attitude, which all falls under good attitude, is the highest thing you can do. Be good, focus on what you're doing, stick with all your, as soon as you wake up in the morning, do your OE, greet your ancestors, even if it's water, candle, incense, tend to your altar, stay close to them. Don't miss any of that. If you can, if you have to schedule earlier, trying to miss any of them and just give off into Ogun and leave everything to them. It's not, there are certain words, prayers that you can say too for Obatala to, protect you from Jarajugon as him himself had warrior qualities. He was a warrior. So there are certain prayers you can say to protect you from the Ajugun, and that works too. But as long as you're praying, like you said, staying close to the spirit, standing to the altar, you should be fine. Just know that you're gonna face difficulties and just prepare. If I will tell you everything, prepare ahead. And the only way you need this is to brute force, so you don't have to walk your way through it and do what you need to do.
Thank you. Then I've also come to see that in the veneration of our ancestors, I there are two principal things that we need to do in spirituality to kind of bring balance to our life. Like if you look at the duality of nature, we have daytime, we have nighttime. The daytime rules the sun, the moon, the nighttime. We have light, we have dark, we have an up and down, right and left. In the veneration of deities, I've come to realize that there is need for kind of also balancing our primal deities to kind of get a level playing field in a way. Like for instance, some deities represent like fire or the masculine principle, while other deities represent the feminine principle. I've come to realize that for somebody to have a kind of equilibrium in their practice. They need to like have this balance, especially in their altar formation. A male and female principle needs to be represented. I have come to pay in my last book. I did try to do this comparison or pairing of Ogun and Olokun together. Ogun represent masculine fire. Then Olokun feminine water softness. So in the practice, these two, there are other deities, but these two represent a kind of balance. Like in Kemet, you have a Asa, Aset, Eru, the woman and the male and female, the child, the product of that union. There must always be the product. So when I have the male, the female, I see myself as the products, as a child in the Trinity. So this Trinity, in my own experience in spirituality, has to be there in the life of a practitioner to bring a certain level of balance in their affairs. I think it's less about some people I see, they do their practice, they just venerate only one deity as their primary deity, and this deity represents one singular element. They don't have room for any other counterparts that we supposed to balance them. Maybe you see only one positive or no negative. In electricity, you must have positive wire and negative wire for the thing to flow. Only one wire not going to fit do the work now. So I try to tell them, but some people say this is the only deity for me. I will not do any other thing. I don't want to do any other thing. How do you see the essence of balance? In my own case, not only that I have two, there are other deities that I see that represent certain principles that I have to incorporate. Like for instance, now I have the statue of Santisima Morita here to represent that principle of death, regeneration, rebirth. To represent for me, this is separate from masculine and feminine now. It's something else, another principle on its own, standalone principle. But we can still refer to death as a feminine, containing feminine and masculine principles on its own. But if I want to focus on that essence, that essence, I need to separate it, to concentrate on it on its own. Then let's take issue. Again, in charge of decision making. We can also separate issue on its own as a separate standalone deity from masculine, feminine. It's a principle that represents decision making, can also represent death, regeneration, new life, new beginning, whatever way again. Then we have a deity like in Kemet, deity of wisdom. I'm sure we have a counterpart in Ifa representing wisdom, writing, logic, everything that have to do with understanding. This principle must be focused. So I want you to talk about the various principles why we need to venerate different deities, because people don't understand that we have too many deities. For instance, now me, I do a lot of things. A lot of academic work, writing. I need to get inspiration from a deity of wisdom. I need to venerate Teuti. If a Teuti already is inside me already, right? I was born with the deity. So I need to appreciate or acknowledge this principle so that I can get more inspiration in doing this. Then another main principle that fascinates me is this principle of the death essence. Everybody is under the influence, whether you like it or not, you will still die. We must pass through this gate going, whether you like or not. It's a principle of nature. It's not good, it's not evil. It is something that is there. How do we deal with this? It's a mystery. Nobody can know the depth of this principle. But it's the same thing with all the other ones. But there are some that will appeal to you more based on your inclination. So I see people focusing on just only one deity. They don't balance it. I would like you to talk about this in respect of Ifa, how we do the venerate various deities and why we need to, and how we can bring balance to our life in this aspect.
So in the origin story, remember that only Oshun was the only female Irumole. Irumole means that the primordial Orishas, right? Remember that they did everything, they never really succeeded because they were just, she's just a woman, she couldn't do anything. And she even offered her help. Nothing was working. So they had to go back to Olodumare and ask what happened. And they told all of them to apologize to Oshun and give her a seat at the table. And as soon as they do that, Oshun forgive them. She assumed her throne. She started working with them hand in hand cordially as equal. That's the only time the Irumole started doing the actual work. That's when they fulfilled their destiny. But all I know this story is you cannot assume, you cannot reach your full potential or fulfill your destiny without a woman, without that balance, that male and female.
You must.
So why I see most people doing that is certain house, certain lineage, they have a primordial deity that they venerate, right? But you're not gonna be a child of Ogun and not have contact with his wife. You're not gonna initiate into Ifa and
Mm-hmm.
have someone that holds your head. But my spiritual mother is Yemoya, right? But they did my hand of Ifat Oshun, which technically is the wife, because Sango and Ogun all my heads, but more Sango. So it's and my family, I have a bloodline from my mom's side. They're from Ijesa, and some of them are from Ibadan, and I have my dad's side from Abiyokuta. So that primordial deity just works too. But even when I'm doing my Oseifa, we do praises to Oshun, then Ogun. Then when I'm doing the one for Sango, Oshun, then Sango. So even though you do or you do your offer, your prayers for your first of all your OE yourself, your RJ, which is your wealth, your well-being and stuff like that, then Mila and Eshu. But before those other, even the ones that hold my head, before I venerate them and do offer to them, recognize them, sing songs of praise to them, I have to sing songs of praises to Oshun. So you can't, and I do have a spiritual mother. You can't just go against it. But I believe they do it like that because you have some, depending on what your lineage is focused on, you have some that you have to be more closer to. But when it's stuff like that, they will advise them like every year in Olokun Festival or Yemoya Festival or AJ Festival or Shogbo, make sure you do that offering. Make sure you prepare. Make sure you do that offering. Ocean will accept that if you do that once a year or you do it twice a year. She will accept it, but you should not go 12 months and not pay your homage and pay that respect to her. You can venerate whatever it is, hold your head every day, but there's always a female deity that you have to venerate because that's even if it is the Iyami, there's something female have to be part of what you're doing. And principle of death, we call it equal. He's Eshu's best friend. They work together hand in hand all the time. For wisdom, with obviously it's Mila. He's one that's responsible for wisdom. He
Mm-hmm.
all the Odu, the algebraic system, and write all that stuff over 800 thousand verses and stuff like that. So it's a lot. He penned down everything and he created the library, the Odu Ifa corpus. So that's what Mila was responsible for. But all of those forces are, like you said, decision making and death comes the same thing. Just like Eshu and Iku are actually good friends, just like how him and Ogun are good friends, and just like Ogun is his spiritual father is Orumila, he takes advice from them, they all work hand in hand. But because Iku is technically considered an Ajugun and malevolent forces, or what can be broadly referred to as the demon, because he's the head of sickness, poverty, loss, anything that is an abomination. He's the king of all of that. Um, Most of the other Orishas stay away from him. He gets along with Eshu very well. Yeah, he gets along with Eshu. Eshu works with him. In fact, it was Eshu's idea that human beings were not supposed to die. Oromila pleaded for them to live forever, to live for eternity. Um, then Olodumare asked them to make sacrifices, offerings. They did not. They did not do the offerings. Eshu said that disrespect will not be allowed. So he revealed everything and he tricked equal death to give human lives a cap. So human Oromila went back and beg and beg and beg, but Eledumare did not receive his offering, and Eshu did what he had to do. He did not get his rooster. Olodumare did not get anything, and so that was a problem too. Because whatever you do, Eshu wants that red rooster. If he doesn't get that, I mean, if you have to go to Olodumare, he has to get his red rooster, and Eshu can be, if he doesn't get what he's supposed to get, there's always problem. So that's what happened. According to Ifa said, that's why human beings are dying.
Yeah, you are right about this. That is nice. I want to also ask a question. Most of these offerings that we give to these deities, we offer this like this red rooster now. We kill a sheep or goat or cow to the spirit. What do you think the spirit do with it? Like when
Well,
you give a goat, in
it's
my own view, I do this offering a lot of time. What I see in my own way is that this everything contains energy, and the like the blood of the chicken or goat or cow, it's containing life force of everything about the genetic makeup of the animal is inside. Same thing with us humans. So when this blood is played to a particular deity, the deity can be able to tap into this frequency and use it to be able to come into this physical world to do certain things or effect certain changes. This is my own scientific interpretation of the essence
well,
of this offering. The deity can use that energy to come needed to be done. What do you think about it?
that's true, but there's more to it. So yes, they will do that. They need the energy because this energy is a life force. It's also a food source. It's also purifies.
Mm-hmm.
The more pure they are, the closer they are to Elidumai. You have to be clean. But it's also a food source. How I know this is in Poland society, which most of them whether they primarily worship Ogun and Sango, the version of Ogun and Sango. When you're offering them this blood, sometimes you have to taste it, and when you go to the next stage, you have to drink part of it. So you will just like how you share food with your ancestors after you eat a certain stage, you have to share. That's why when the warrior queen, what's an Oya, when Oya priestesses perform publicly, they'll bite the head off of a hen or rooster and they'll drink the blood publicly, just to stuff like that. If you want a spirit to live inside of you, or if a spirit that is the spirit that is living inside of you, the primordial food that they want is blood. In order for you to feed them, you have to partake in that meal. So yes, it is also a food source. It keeps them clean. It's so raw, natural. They can't, like, you know what I mean. So for every other solid food, they can take the essence. But because of the plasma, the energy goes there, the purity goes there, and you also add into their life. They will live forever, and you can help, build that, make them more active. Go out there and do stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. So it's very important that we do these offerings from time to time. Like I tell people that when you have a deity, do not neglect your deity. Even your ori, the libation that we do, very, very important. When you pour that drink on the ground, the essence of that drink goes into the ether, goes into the astral world, goes into the plane. And when you call the name of the deity in conjunction with that right, you actually giving this drink as an offering to the deity. So the deity gets to get the drink. Very, very important. Just like I can send a gift to somebody. I write the name that this package belongs to so and so, and I get to put it in the courier service, and the person gets to know that this is for me. Somebody sent you a gift. It may not get it that day, but it will get it eventually, depending on the system. If it's a very fast system, maybe let's use example if you use your local Nigerian post office or you use DHL. For the person, one can take 3 months for you to get it. One can take 1 week for you to get it. Something like that, but they get it. So we giving this offerings up. You can never do too much. Giving offerings is a sign of activating or making contact with the deity, when you keep calling their name, you keep sending things their way, then we take notice. Just a matter of time before they
Mm.
take notice that this person wants our attention. This person is always trying to reach out to us. And then we also want to reach out to you too, depending on the situation. So offering is good. Animal offering, the best if you can manage it. And it's one way of getting in touch with our with the deities in the other side, because it represents it's a gateway to the spirit world. It's a gateway to open into other realms. Very, very important. We have different gateway, gateway of fire, different gateways that we can open to get to that fourth dimension. So they are very, very important as well. Then I also want to talk about the if somebody is venerating a deity, then they have a family like children and a crossover. The children, like if I have my Egbe now, then this can my son or my children be part of my own Egbe, or they will have their own Egbe as well. They cannot be part of my own.
So for that, you have to do veneration. One way or the other, they have to continue some of your work or all of them, right? So because you're Baba, yeah, before you pass on, they will let you know who gets to take over for you or who gets to do your work. Or who gets to, if you complete your work, who gets to pick up from somewhere you left off and continue. Some they have to do in Yoruba land as soon as you born, they already do that. And based on what Ifa reveals, that's the name that they're gonna give you. Every name is an oriki or a poem or something. So they already know who's gonna be a babala, who's gonna represent their parents, who's gonna follow the house, who's gonna do this. They'll even tell you what kind of field or what kind of job you're supposed to get into. Then they'll tell you your taboos. In order for you to fulfill this, don't do this, don't eat peanuts, don't eat palm oil, don't eat chicken or anything with the finger. So you usually already do that. But every babala or every baba in any place in Yoruba land, they will reveal to them. It's mostly the first child, mostly, but they sometimes they'll look and they'll see and they'll say they'll choose other children. I've seen cases where they even choose the youngest. So this is the one that has the strongest faith, and this is the one that can do. So in few instances, it's not always like the firstborn male child. Sometimes it can be the eldest daughter, or it can be the middle child, it can be the young one. But they will always reveal to you, they'll let you know. And when they reach a certain age, after 14, or when they reach puberty, they'll start telling you how to teach them, they'll start instructing you. Then you know, but they'll let you know. Mm, I can't hear you. It's frozen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear
sorry,
you.
look, I'm back now. So as I was saying, we have case hereby some people that cross over their practice with the person, they put it inside the coffin and they bury the juju, say, okay, this is juju you serve in this lifetime. You carry your juju go, they put everything in the coffin and they bury it together with the body of the person. Have you seen this case before?
I've seen it in some practices. Then I've seen practices where it gets passed on to one of
Mm.
the family members. They tell them how to take care of it, and they have to assume that role, or it's always problems. But Most people will say whenever that happens is because you bring in a foreign spirit with you. Maybe when you bring in
Okay.
the foreign spirit, you did not sign a pact for multiple generations, just you. So you get to go with that speech, your pact is done, and your children have to choose their own way. They have to choose their own pact. They'll do the same thing. Maybe they'll worship the houses, Orisha or whatsoever is in the bloodline. But if you bring a foreign spirit and if you're smart enough to say, hey, I am the only one working with this, then you will go. You go like for me, my being a babalawo, that has to be passed on for multiple generations for the next 7 generations to all of my children.
Mhm.
My IJ speeds that was activated can only work for me, not my children, not my future wife, no one. It only just me, my name, my date of birth,
Right.
just me.
Mhm. So if you cross over that one, we have to be buried with you. You
Yes,
carry
it
that
has
one
to.
home.
Once I cross over that city, it's not activated anymore. The child has to go get the IJ
Mhm.
speed.
Okay, good, good. I'm aware of that one. There was one case that happening now that a lady venerating uh kind of Olokun in my place they call it light of Olokun. So she just transitioned and they have to bury the children. Did not even know anything about this thing. They try to make an error of just doing the burial by themselves. So the people have to come the house she belongs that you can't just bury this person like this. This person is our member. We are supposed to do the final burial rites. If you bury this person by yourself, you will have a lot of problems in your life because you know this person is a devoted practitioner of this very practice, and you have to follow the final burial rites. And you must do that. So the children have realized and now they have made their mistake. You know, this Christianity thing, they think that they can just do things by themselves, they don't know anything. So they told them that, look, if you bury this woman by yourself, you people will be in a lot of problem. She was not a Christian. She has never been a Christian. She have many commitments here. You have to follow the final rites and do this thing. So they have not seen the voice of reason now. They are trying to now incorporate the practice to give her that last respect and to also make sure that spirits that she'll be working with also be part of the ceremony. And they don't want to take part, so they say the deity will be buried with her so that there will be peace, that kind of thing. So they have now agreed to do that. This case I'm talking about is happening right now. I say, well, it's a good thing. Normally, in those cases, we have situations whereby people venerate particular deities, and when they die, the children, out of stupidity or ignorance, we just bury them in Christian burial and think that everything is over. They
Mhm.
don't know that the person is connected to certain deities, and then we start having problems. You see some children struggling because they didn't do what needs to be done. They didn't ask the right question. They were just so arrogant that their God is all powerful. They don't know that before their gods, there were other people that were here on the planet. So a lot of children that have made this mistake and they paid seriously for the mistake. Some of these things they did, the spirit will even affect them for generations just by making such kind of mistake of not properly departing the spirits that their parents were involved with or without doing the rights, the formalization rights of sending of those spirits back to where they come from. So this can be a very dangerous thing for most people. So I always encourage practitioners to say, if you're into African spirituality, please let your people, even though they don't practice, let them know what you are into. That if I cross over, this is what you must do. If you don't do it properly, you're going to be, even if you don't believe, do this thing. If you don't do it the way it's supposed to be, you'll be in a lot of problem if I cross over. But this priest will still be here in this physical form. And when I'm not here anymore, they will look for the closest people around, which is you, the children, to be
Mhm.
continuing this work or to do that proper severance. And if you don't do it, they will start attacking you. So I tell them, please let them know all these things because now we are advanced in this practice. We know what happens when you're
Mhm.
dealing with spirits. Or in my own case, I've had opportunities to make contact with many deities, even involved in facilitating packs. I try to let people know. the do's and don'ts of what they are getting into, and how you have to bring balance to your life. There are certain things when you bring a spirit into your life, it's like you're having a spirit child. That
Yes.
just imagine that thing now is now part of your family, not only the physical family. You have a spirit family that people cannot see. They are there. You must care for them. You cannot neglect them. Just the way some people will neglect their child and stop feeding them, stop taking care of them, then the child will start misbehaving. Same thing
Yeah.
with this spirit. If you bring a spirit into your life, into your house, and you start neglecting the spirits, the spirit will start misbehaving and be causing problem for you. Same way your child, if you don't take care of them, they will cause problem for you. We
Mhm.
have many recalcitrant children misbehaving due to lack of proper care. Spirits can also misbehave when you don't take proper care of them. So they need to know all these things before you say, I want to do pact with the spirit, I want to do covenant. You have a responsibility towards them. And when you cross over, there have to be proper severance because those spirits are part of your family. Whether you like, now you bring them come this physical world. So they are attached to you. When you are not
Mhm.
here, they are attached to your lineage. So those people around need to be care for them. So you have to tell them, come, you are not only the physical children, I have spiritual children. These things you see, they are your brothers and your sisters. You must care for them the way you care for your physical brothers and your sisters. If you don't care for them, there will be problem because I bring them in, I bettered them into this world. I am their father. Same you are also my children. They are also my children too. They need to see it like this. So when they see it like this, there is peace and understanding. But when you don't tell anything about them, then when you die, some invisible forces shows up. They will
Yeah.
say, Bob, you have a
Yeah.
spirit family,
In
and you don't tell
selling,
anything. There'll be a lot of problems. Just like the way some men will have two wives. The
yeah,
one wife will not know. Then when they die, they will see people bossing out to say, like your papa children be this. So we are this is you hide them. When they don't
yeah.
come, they don't come home. Until you see the matter, they will start having problems, going to court and all these things. Same thing with the spirit world. When you have spirit family, they don't you bring the fact that you bring them in, they are not part of your family, whether you like it or not. If you want to do anything, say, okay, I don't want again, you must do it formally. Just like the way you
Mhm.
adopt the child, you want to send the child back. Same process you bring, you have to follow the process to take that child back to the orphanage. So most people don't take this serious like this, that those things you bring to your life, they are part of your family. And then they stand like this. So what do you think about this issue?
So in Sierra Leone, they have a different burial site for them, especially the ones that have reached a certain level. They don't
Mhm.
even bury them in the general cemetery. So it's actually that serious. The government
It's
have
serious now because
serious.
the cemetery we're having lots of visitors.
Yes. So they don't. There are certain ceremonies their counterparts have to do at night that people who are roaming around their business should not and cannot see. And some people
Mm,
complain about feeling cold, touching them at the back, different things, or like spirits threatening them to flog them, and so on, which is believable. Why I say so? Because people will go to their graves, they have this hill that it's dedicated to them. They will make them offerings. So this is where they will get the graveyard debt, or if they need a problem to be, take neutralized, they go to make
mm,
them offerings and they send them and they get the job done. Even when I was in Sierra Leone doing my initiation, one of the Egbe died, and right in front of the Ocean Shrine, that's where they bury her. They did all of our ceremony, they bury her right in front of the Ocean Shrine. And the chief priest that was there, he happily, with a smile on his face, chose his own site. Like, when I pass on, this is where I'm going to be, and this is what you should do. So it's
mhm,
serious. And there are protocols for that. They are isolated. It's recognized by the practices. This is general practice in Africa, and rightfully so. And it's even recognized by the government to the extent where they have a separate site. Even before you enter, you have to take off your shoe and make offerings to
mhm,
them. You might do all the right thing. They don't like you. Maybe you did not shower. You do something benign, and they'll attack you right there, right then. So it's not
mm,
for the faint of heart. Most people that are supposed to go there the first time, they go with their elders, they teach them everything. Because they're very aggressive, they act out and stuff like that. Bottom line of the story, you have to do it the right way. Because just because the person you put them there doesn't mean that they're not active. That's not the case. They will come back, they'll bother you. They will keep bothering people around that vicinity. Like in Sierra Leone, even the people that are going about their business that has nothing to do with them, they'll misbehave, they'll bother them until they go call someone that this here, I'm hearing voices, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. And obviously, when that's happening, you're going to go do consultation and they say, oh, this is where you mess up. You need to fix it so they can cross over properly. Because what I know for sure, if you don't do what you said, are you supposed to, they're not even going to cross over properly. They're just going to be here causing problems for the family, the ones that make mistake, and to a certain extent for everyone else. So it's very serious. They have to do it the right way. If they're supposed to leave it behind, we'll teach the person that's supposed to take over from them. But it's a pretty serious matter. I've seen cases.
Yeah, it is very serious. It's
Yeah.
very serious. A lot of people suffering from generational poverty I've come to see is because of this kind of problems where the person that was practicing passed on, they did not proper do the severance or rituals properly. It affects the children. The children will be suffering. Things will be going well for them. They will, no matter how they do, they will never get well in life. Their life will not be balanced. They have this kind of problems. It's serious for many of these families. You'll be wondering why this person suffering. You see a very beautiful lady, she can't get married. You'll be wondering what is going on. You see somebody be walking, walking, walking. They can't be prosperous in life. This is because of this kind of problems. They didn't do the proper severance to when the father, which is usually a very powerful spiritualist, crossover. They didn't do the proper severance of those spirituals. Things they didn't do it. So the spirits that was supposed to be helping the family now start giving problems to the family. It now becomes like a generational curse thing, whereby the team will still be here. When this set die, the next generation, it will still causing problem for them. They will still be causing just like that because the spirit is still here. The imbalance is still here. There's still no correction. And these people usually they'll be running from church to church, thinking church can solve the problem. Church will even be adding to the problem, just draining them financially, increasing the problem. So you tell them most times you need to come back to African spirituality. When they get back, they will not discover this problem. Most times African spirituality, then only there they can correct the problem before all this will stop. So I've seen many cases like this kind of thing. So it's something people needs to be aware about. People needs to be aware of to in case as practitioners we need to be aware of all these things. So when we cross over, there must be proper burial or proper severance with any kind of deities that the person is connected to in this physical life. Or if it's something that is a continuation, somebody have to continue. This is very, very important thing that we must look at for and we must talk about. So it's something that is nice.
So what
Uh,
I've seen is the mistake that I've seen people make the most that has led to this is when the parents pass on, some of them that become Christian, what they do, they just take the items and take it to church. And they started singing, dancing, and they say they're anointed, they give everything to yada yada and blah blah blah. And that's the highest level of disrespect you can do. And families like that, those are the ones that always gonna be hungry, always going to church 5 days a week. They keep doubling down, doubling down, no, not knowing that that's a mistake that they make. I was inclined to know that if the parents do it properly, they let go of these days properly, they'll naturally leave them alone and go about their business. But when you do it like that, disrespectfully, like they pass on, they did not teach your kids, or they teach your kids, and the kids go to take it to church or burn it or humiliate them in front of the altar, that generation is going to continue to face humiliation until they go back and correct that practice. So that's what I've seen for sure that has happened. So if you're someone is practicing, you see you don't know what to do, contact the people that you know that you, whether it's the teammate or friend or who used to practice, someone in the town that can make sure they do things the proper way. Don't take it to church. Don't take things into your hand. If what you're doing, don't even touch it. Or else they're gonna come in, they're gonna bother you for generations to come. I've seen it happen.
there was one case in my village. This boy, he used to live in America. He was doing well, doing very well. He came back. When the father died, he burnt the father's shrine. He burnt it to ashes, still done nothing. When he did, now he's currently suffering. Now this guy goes around the village begging for food, begging somebody that's lived in America for more than 10 years was doing well. He came back, he burnt his father's shrine, that there was nothing that he covered with the blood of Jesus. Since then, his life has not gone well. I said this is the worst one. He thought that burning it will kill whatever he said. Well, burning it did not. This guy is so it's like almost like a mad person. And guess what? The places he say he say he don't want to worship the juju. Now he goes to where they are doing traditional festival to beg for food. Beg for the juju food that he didn't want to shop is what is not sustaining him. He goes to traditional places and go to shrine and beg for food to chop there. I look at it and say, oh, the food where you don't want, now you don't beg to eat now. So one major mistake they should not do is to burn the shrine, burn, desecrate it, thinking nothing is there. When you go and destroy the person's shrine, that one, the kind of cost or suffering that will come upon this, the person, the deities will just think that see you as their enemy. Oh, you want to kill us. And they take all the vengeance, all the anger to come upon the children. That is usually very devastating. So I advise people, if your parents or somebody is venerating a deity at a crossroad, the last thing you want to do is to go and burn their shrine or destroy it. Just leave it like that. If you
like
don't know
that.
what to do with it,
I don't
don't
know what
throw
to
it
do with it.
away. If you don't want to continue, leave it like that. But don't you go and put fire on and burn it, because this is the worst thing that will happen. It will even make the person to be angry for wherever he will be very angry that you burnt his shrine, something that he considered his most holy place. Then you call yourself with children, then you go and burn it. Do you think he wants to help you anymore in this life? He will leave you to your fate. If you have any way to help you, we don't want to help you, because that's the highest disrespect, to go and burn somebody's shrine. It's one of the highest disrespect you can give to somebody, give to the spirits. So I always say this, that it's a very bad thing to do, to go and burn. Just leave it like that if you don't want to do anything, have anything to do with it. So this is my observation on this topic. I hope one or two people that we get some understanding from it, because these are very serious issues concerning African spirituality practice. As we grow in the practice, as we develop, you find out that you're working with various spirits, you're building a kind of spirit family in the other side. And the further you go, the more contact you make, the more your spirit family will be very, very large. We know this. I've worked with many deities in the past. Some I don't talk to them anymore. I don't venerate them, but we already have that contact before, and I know that they help me. So I want to protect their interests too. I now take them as my friends. When I see people venerating them, I'm happy. We do everything to support the system, support if I can do that. So that's how you build them friendships or connections with these spirits or entities. So as you grow deeper, you grow more powerful, you grow more wise, have more understanding, more knowledge. You just grow. And when we transition, we continue growing, because there's a lot of things out there. The whole universe is out there for us to uncover, to discover. So life does not end here. We just go. So as we're learning, we should be also applying wisdom, also creating a kind of ladder for the people coming behind us. Most of the things we discover now, our people, new students or people coming in, our children, that we benefit from it, and then we also build on that legacy to go forward in their own spiritual advancement and development. So we need to create some contacts for them. There are some deities that we have to inherit to continue the work. There are some we have to come in our next incarnation to continue doing as well. There are some we have to sever our connection with for whatever purpose. All this needs to be taken into consideration. So it's good to give knowledge to people that are around us, that in case we transition, this is what needs to be done. Our spirit family, our Egbe, and our deities, they have to be acknowledged, and they have to be that proper ceremony for them, so that there will be peace in the family. This is something that every practitioner needs to do on their part as well. Or what do you think about it?
Yes. So you have to know that ancient tradition, when someone is going to pass on, either the oracle, the chief priest, or someone close to the other elder, or someone in the house, or the ones that's going to be assume them, someone's going to pick up after them, someone is going to know. Like, even if they have to wake them up in the middle of the night, the spirit will tell them that this has passed on, and they'll just show up at the person's place to make sure that they start doing something. For some of them, before they pass on, they will see to the ancestors' game, they'll see to the ancestors' land, and they will see their parents as someone that they were venerating, calling them to go to the ancestors. So they will know that it's time for them. Then they will start giving specific message of what to do and what not to do. That's how the practice was so intense that they have a way of passing on this message of knowing what to do and what not to do. Some practitioners will tell their firstborn, when I pass on, this is what you do, this is what you do. This will come and say so, so, so. They'll tell you that there will be a problem, but put your foot down. It should be done this way. Even if they say do it this way, do it this way. Do not step your foot here. Do not travel here. Do not eat the food in the ceremony. They have something. They will tell you everything because they will actually see their ancestors or give them a set of instruction. That's how it used to be. But if you sit in Nigeria, you're practicing and you're Chilean or westernized, they're not doing the practices over there. That connection is not there. It's not like you're taking them, teaching, you pouring a libation together. It's not like you're showing them the leaves and the bushes and how to use them. That relationship is not there anymore, and that's how it's supposed to be. If you see cases like that and you're part of a house or you part of something, some people must have babalawo friends and stuff like that. Those instructions should be passed down or they should be written down and signed. If you have a wife, make sure the wife knows. If they don't know, make sure a close friend or people know how they're supposed to do things. Because remember, if it's not done, first of all, if they burn your shrine, that's one of your sources of power. How are you going to come back and start talking to them and tell them how to remediate that, right? You've lost most of your power. That's some of your sources of power. And most importantly, you are seen as failure. You did not, if you did not pass it on for them to continue these practices, and your children cannot pick up after you, technically you fail because they're supposed to continue and after you fail as a spiritual father. You can do spiritual work for everyone else, for you venerate your ancestors and stuff like that, and you're gonna join them. But who's gonna venerate you when you pass on? So it's like you're gonna go face your ancestors with disgrace on your face, which will make sense where some of them will say that they're stuck here and keep bothering them until
Mhm.
they fix that, right? How are you gonna be a spiritual ancestor if you don't have other people venerating you, activating you, and stuff like that? So it should be done. Make sure some of your family members can do this, or make sure someone close to you, a friend, or any kind of house that you're part of, write everything down, leave the instruction, and make sure that they do things the proper way to protect your family. If you think um they should join them, but don't go burn anything or take anything and think that holy water and fire can stop the ancestors from doing what they are. That doesn't that doesn't
Doesn't
even
work. Oh.
that's all.
They are being deceived by the church that they have one power. We saved. They made a lot of mistakes. So that doesn't work. It's impossible. You can't
Mhm.
kill what does not have a physical body. Doesn't work. But they don't know. But they will always learn the hard way. Many of them have learned
Mhm.
the hard way, casting and binding all their life, and nothing is changing. The
Think
situation
it's
still
not
get
fine.
worse.
Just getting poor and more miserable.
One more miserable. I see them now. I see them. So until they come to real spiritual knowledge, this is why this knowledge is very, very important in this day and age. We'll do our best to bring awareness to these subjects. We'll do our best to teach them, and people will know how to correct all these mistakes with time, hopefully. So I thank you for today. I thank you. I'm very happy that you are here and that we talk this topic. We need to be talking more and more about this topic. And I want to ask about your practice. Have you started your practice fully now? Because you know a lot of stuff, and
Mhm.
you this is your you need to be doing this thing. Oh. Have you started now?
Yeah, so I'm just there will be a time when They will give me the exact time to go. I have a lot of things to initiate into, but they will let me know when time comes. So everything has been prepared. Every speech has been done. Everything because every year. Last year I sent a lot of money over at Oshobo. They did everything, but recently they told me that before I complete everything, I should join the Ogboni, and that can be done over there too. So everything will be prepared over there. And when the time comes, just go over there and make sure it's one go, but they'll let me know. But for now, I just contact them to my altar. Everything that I do goes to my altar. I also get messages from my Oluo, and I get messages from my DM and everything. They're very active. I change my order every morning. I do my regular offerings the same way. I follow some of the practices. I make sure I modify to fit to replicate as much as possible. Here, I make sure I pour water on the ground every day. I do what I have to do if I have to do anything else. I make sure they do it over there at Oshobo. So everything is going fine for myself, what I'm doing for myself and for other family members that have taken up on this part. Everything's going good. They're seeing results and everything's working so far. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's nice. But with respect to the Ogboni Society, we have it here in Nigeria. There are two of them, from what I learned. I have a friend that is a member, but they call one the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity. Then they call another one Aborigine. I don't really understand. I'm not a member, but if you join now, will you still be free to talk about spiritual issues? Because one thing I know about some certain societies, once you become a member, you cannot, they will restrict you from saying things about the way we talk freely about spiritual concept. They restrict their members from talking about it. Everything now becomes a secret. In some societies, you cannot even reveal a spell to somebody to help them. You cannot even say it. You have to do the thing and give it to the person. The person will not know the secret or will not know what leaf you mix together to do it. Some of them do like this. That is my reason for not joining some of them, because I don't want to be restricted in my practice. Like when I do this in videos, so I can say things if I want to say things, but some that when you say things that we feel that you are exposing their secret and they might get offended, then they will say they are exposing their secret and it's against their law to reveal anything they are doing inside to the general public. Some people take it very serious. Some houses take it very, very seriously. So
Yeah. So
don't you think it might restrict you talking about spirituality in the public? You can no longer do your YouTube or your social
no,
media.
well, so you cannot talk about the Ogboni because it's a fraternity, a secret society, but
Mhm.
it's for everyone, and you can preach Ifa for everyone. So whatever spell you do in the Ogboni that is taught there, you cannot talk about it. Why? Because it's important. It's the last resort. So the Reformed Ogboni, they are like Masonic. They're new. They started it
Mhm.
for a different reason, right? They say they are, but the strongest one is called the one that I'm supposed to join. It's called the Ashubo
Okay.
or Oshubo.
So they have different type of fits, different types.
Those
Okay.
are responsible for royal matters, military. They're very close to the whole. The kings. They can decide who sits on the throne. If you want to put, if a king is not
The
acting well,
kingmakers. It's different
kingmakers.
from that general one. It's different from the one we know. This one is
Yeah,
different. Mhm.
it's different. So not everyone is gonna be there. They have to, because I see now people can go join Ogboni, but we don't know that they have to invite their they divine for me and they say this you are Agba or Shubu.
It's
Yeah,
where you
so
belong.
but
Mhm.
I see there's a guy that is talking about Ogboni, but it's to break the misconception because he was too sick, it's to demonize it, right? So there are certain
Mhm.
things like what is Ogboni, what it stands for, how it comes into what roles is plays in the Yoruba, why they
Mhm.
started it, when they started it, what it means, and stuff like that. Even the Egbe Agba that I'm under, they are the scholars. They do like what you're doing. They're the one that wrote everything and stuff like that. You have a part of them. So they have to teach you all that. What you do, how you venerate the spells that you do. That's it. You cannot talk about that. But generally,
Mhm.
what it stands for, that it is a mystery. Yes, they'll tell you that, hey, it's secret, but this is why we do it. This is what stands for. This is what we were doing then, and this is what we're doing now, and this is what we headed. But if you want to talk about spells in Ifa, it's just say any kind of Odu you feel to do so. It is encouraged. You
Mm-hmm.
probably should. The only thing you can talk about is Ogboni. Even the guy that opened a TikTok channel that's talking about Ogboni, he was reformed. After he saw everything, he left. He went back to the original one. We are connected on TikTok. And so after
That's
he sees the differences, he took it upon himself to break most of the misconception and see how it is, because the reformed Ogboni, that's not Ogboni, that's Missini. They just call it Ogboni. They made it for every general person to go in. Just like when they reject certain kind of people, they say, "Oh, we're just gonna form our own and do on it." It's not
mm-hmm.
something that you buy in. They take it seriously. It's about lineage. It's about certain. It was supposed to be certain kind of elders, people that have certain kind of experience and stuff like that, until they improve it. The only improvement they made was to allow women to join. That's it. Well, when it comes to reformed and missing and stuff like that, we don't know anything about that. We're not doing any of that stuff. They don't know them. We know they venerate the art. Everything else has to be secret. It is a fraternity. That's it. But if it says it's reform, Messini, if anyone can join in the bar into it, that's not Ogboni. They're not going to allow you to get into royal matters. Like most of my title are all at bar. So, okay, so you have to go sit amongst them for you to get that close to holding all of those that stuff, because you deal with a lot of, you have to be close to a lot of royalty. So that requires you for you to get to your destiny, for you to reach there, everything that you're supposed to, all your assignments and responsibilities. Ifa says and Yoruba land law says you have to be part of the Ogboni. So that's how the divine say, okay, for you to fulfill this, you have to. That's how I got in. But
That
that's what
one, the one you want to join. This is the original one because when I trace the
it
history, the Ogboni was like the society in charge of administering law and order in Yoruba lands. They are like the kingmakers who will take it like we have the executive council of
mm-hmm.
the palace. This is the
Mm-hmm.
original one. That is the real one. In
Yeah.
Kemet, we will say this second where we have the Black Panther or the Ologbo Shere, the highest council. This is the real one. Before we start having subset to now the reform where anybody can take a form and join. The reform that I see it more like in line with Freemasonry. They are more
Yeah,
like
it
the
is
Freemason
basically. Mm-hmm.
type thing. But the real one, that is the one you're talking about. That is the real
Mm-hmm.
one. That one. Not everybody can join. You cannot just. You have to do serious divination. The spirits needs to call you to join. That is the original one. So I'm happy that you are in the right place. I'm very delighted. I'm grateful. What about your book? You're planning to write some books, so I'm still waiting. Have you not bring them out now?
So I have notes on any of them. I have to put them together. They're highly mathematical similarities. I don't know if I should do like a PowerPoint and do multiple videos or to do PDF and stuff like that. I keep going after them. I'm linking the algebraic function doing it, the link between two different odus, how the exact balance that you're talking about. So if you look at
Hmm.
all of the odu, right? So um, if you look at Ogundameji, right, which is the male, the ultimate male, and you look at the next one after it, Osameji, it's a direct inverse of Osa. So Ogun is the exact opposite, the sign and everything, right? Ejiogbe, the first one, the second is all one, 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 the single ones. The next one will be all twos, which means it's an inverse operator, a balanced math. And when you do the math, when you calculate it in binary, in linear algebra, and even in Bitman manipulation, everything adds up. So if we give you one of the other, it is fully mathematically complete. And that four spaces, even though the DNA technically has T and four signs, it actually you can do calculations back that can lead to that your DNA sequence can be matched with that, and is also mathematically complete. And
Wow.
they can explain it how your Odo, your DNA sequence, and your link. to how you tap into the universe to
Correlate.
down from source. It is mathematically complete. It has been proven. There are papers about that. Most professors have argued and they have accepted it now, and it's a matter of publicly available record. I just was
Yeah.
looking at it. I noticed the sign. I started checking, and when I check, I started asking. Turns out it was linear algebra. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And it's so because it's linear algebra, I started putting my knowledge into. I started asking questions. And I say, and they were like, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. That was a correct observation because you actually right. There are actually three professors who have argued that, and they try to debunk anything, but because it's mathematically if science, if you improve it in a blackboard, no one's gonna argue. So yes, it's argue, but every Odu, every one is an inverse version of the other one.
Uh, this is
Mhm.
very, very, very interesting. Yes, also quite revolutionary.
Yeah,
I can't wait to read this book, and I'll be very happy. We need to be showing this that the Uduifa is in our blood, our DNA. There are many applications and implications for this, so I hope you are aware.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get to a stage whereby we'll be using it to creating a kind of blockchain, whereby the DNA sequence of the person can be put into a machine, and it will just the computer can be calibrated to just read out the result of whatever they are looking for by doing this very thing to find out the result. We just show on the screen of this person who they are, where they come from, their qualities, trait, characteristics, potential, everything we can just flash just by assessing the blood of the person. They can also divine, but all these things we in the future we'll get to that level. Yeah, we'll get to that level whereby we can be able to boost or to most of the time we bring online for where people complain that they are having difficulty in life, they are having difficulty, they're having problems. We can be able to uh, create a system whereby by just using one or two things, we can solve problems for people. We can bring them up to their greatest version, can correct all the anomalies, spiritual problems that they're having. Maybe this can be cross conditions where people have this mentality of I can't achieve this, I can't achieve that, limiting themselves. We can be able to change all these situations with by creating physical systems that can actually help the person with this very thing you are talking about. We can do this. So there's a lot of possibilities. So I want to thank you, and I hope your book will come out soon. And all these things we are talking about, we'll see them. But before the end of this year, I would like to that you can bring it out. We'll still be talking. We'll need to be doing these videos from time to time, talking about African spirituality, bringing understanding and clarity to the issue. This is a part of the great work. So I want to thank you very much for your contributions and the role that you are playing in this work. And, I'm very delighted. So, do you have any word you would like to say to the audience? How they can contact you if somebody want to reach out to you, and if you working for things that you are doing now, just anything you want to tell them.
Oh well, for me now, I'm just focused on spirituality, work, improving, and in heightening my doing my spiritual work. I meditate, keep contact. I meditate every before bed, meditate before I go to work, continue to do my work, keeping my conduct, following my destiny, following all of my taboos. Those are very important. You have to be, they'll give you, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you'll be doing, like now they go to doctor to check for allergic reaction, right? But
Mhm.
in Africa, most people we don't suffer allergies. Well, you don't know that because you have to go to a babalao for them to give you taboo, right? So that do not eat this, do not this, do not that can fall under allergies too because they are doctors. So I follow my taboos. Do constantly doing my prayer, constantly reading, constantly improving. And when you keep that close contact when the time comes, they'll let you know that this time, within this time and this time you're supposed to do this. But for me, everything that I'm supposed to be doing is mapped out. Everything I know where I'm going to be going, where I'm going to be sitting, what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's up to them for me to let me know, the final one, for me to, They'll actually let you know now it's time to go and do this. Then I just get up and do. So it's up to them.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm happy. Then I'll want us to maybe next week we'll find another topic that we'll talk about, something that will be very deep and people will get awareness of. So have you read my last book? Let me use this opportunity to talk about my book. So this one that you got from me. Have you read this book?
Yeah, I read some of them. I read verses about Ogun, how to venerate Ogun, and how you become an Olori, and some of Ogun's principles and stuff like that. You know, I read about the Dilogun, you read about the Dilogun and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. And yes, most of Ogun's, it's most this people venerate them the same way in Ifa is very close, especially when it comes to Olo Okun too. But when it comes to Olo Okun, originally the Beninese people have a different version how they see it, but the way the Obo people venerate them and the way how Ifa venerates Ogun and the other side, it's the same thing, same principle. Same food,
Like
the roast yam, the palm oil and stuff like that. See, the alcohol, same thing.
my in my village, Delta State, my village primary deity is Olokun. It's the deity of our village, the same Olokun that they venerate in Yoruba. Right now, we are doing the feast. Started on the 24th of this. So I just came from the feast. It's a 9 days feast, but due to life issues, I leave them, but I will be joining them later on. We're doing the venerating Olokun. So we venerate Ogun, we venerate Olokun, we venerate Osinye in the name specification of Aziza. Or another name Ogun, we also call Ogun Oloho. We will call it in our own language, but it's still Ogun, God of War. So it's practically the same day, this but we've used different names to call them. But it's okay. So I'm very happy to talk to you today. Very delighted. I thank you for coming and very delighted. And for viewers that are here today, I encourage you to keep practicing. If you have not gotten any of my books, this one, Ancient Sacred Robo Spirituality. Then this one on plasma physics, for people that want to know about plasma physics, the fourth state of matter, which is the plasma rim. They'll find this book very, very uh, informative to understand how plasma energy is generated, how people have been able to study the sun to see how the sun generates this fusion energy. That the same way is what our people, the ancient Africans, study to create what they call plasma nuclear fusion reactors. So with this plasma fusion reactors, you can generate unlimited energy for anything that you want to do. So they use it to create nuclear reactors, but you can also use it to power other engines. You can use it for, especially for space travel. The good thing about plasma fusion, you don't need refueling. It runs forever. So it's something that everybody needs to study to get the kind of engine that recycles itself. Like the sun now have been burning for billions of years. It does not need fuel. If plasma fusion can give us that thing with the power of plasma fusion, we can create a spaceship or spacecraft that we can use to travel the galaxy. And we are going to achieve this because this is the future of mankind. So we need to study plasma fusion. And this book is the first book on plasma fusion. But before you go into plasma physics, quantum physics is very important. From quantum, we go to plasma. So you can get this book for those people who have not gotten quantum physics book. I will recommend it for them to get. This is a book that talks about dark matter, talks about time and space travel, ghost DNA, talks about a negative space, the evil forest, and a whole lot of topics that needs to be done. Then which parts of our main thing? This is a book that talks about several African deities, principles of creation that we cannot do without. I'll recommend this book for people that want to understand how to make contact with African deities. They can get this one. Then Walking the Shadow of the Gods for herbs and other things for people that want to know about herbs, know about nature. You can also get this one too. Okay. So these ones are for now. Then, if you want to buy spiritual items or meditation beads, cowries, necklace, soaps and perfumes, candles, you can contact me. The website is River of Knowledge. If you want to learn African spirituality, this is a place you can register for my program. You can also contact. Then Oracle Tarot divination, we still do that here as well. And apart from that, I thank you very much. People that have been watching, supporting the channel, very delighted. And I'll be seeing you in the subsequent videos as usual. And from Obafemi, Roland, thank you very much for coming. And
Thank you for
I'll be seeing you next week as well. So take
sure.
care and bye. Peace. Have a great day. Okay.